Despite her PR background, Katie was CEO of Forrester Creations on Bold and the Beautiful. Katie's past as the CEO of Forrester Creations was brought up on the Bold and the Beautiful. She's disappointed about the latest changes made to her job. She wasn't cut back, but she's not being heard when it comes to handling the situation involving Luna's death. Key takeaways. Katie feels undervalued and underappreciated at work. Ridge hired a crisis management team to handle the news of Luna's death. Despite Katie's PR background, she can't clean up this mess since she's too close to the Luna situation. Her past as a CEO was recently discussed in conversations. Katie struggles with her job. Katie, Heather Tom, understood the decision that Ridge, Torsten K., had to make. He hired a crisis management team while she was out to handle the news of Luna's, Lisa Yamada, death, which had gotten out of hand. There have been so many tabloid rumors about it. Katie was close to the situation, which means she can't handle it like she normally handles any other PR emergency. However, she feels that she's being undervalued at work. She told Bill, Don Diamant, that they overstepped her opinions and ideas more than once. Bill gave her the confidence boost she needed to pitch a new idea. So, she brought it up to Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, and Ridge, both of whom turned it down. Although Katie loves her job in the fashion industry, she finds herself at a crossroads. What's also been brought up is her past as a CEO. Bill loved it when she was in control of the company, but it had a rocky start. Katie's past as a Many characters over the years have agreed that Katie was at her best when she was CEO of Forrester Creations. Bill would like to see her at the top of her game once again. She became CEO after she got romantically involved with Bill. Their relationship was shocking for the soap. It was highly unlikely due to their differences. But Bill had a desire to steal Forrester Creations away from the Forresters and Logans. She was appointed to the new role. At the time, Forrester Creations was a newly acquired division of Spencer Publications. However, Bill didn't make his intentions clear to Katie when their relationship ended. She felt played when she saw a video that was made by Bill's father, asking his son to take down Eric, John McCook, Brooke, and Donna, Jennifer Garais. Bill assured Katie that he wasn't using her to fulfill his father's deep-seated hatred against the Forresters. Scandalous shakeup. Katie was eventually replaced as the CEO of Forrester Creations. Steffi, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, seduced Bill and blackmailed him into selling the company back to her family. She also created Rest, Ridge, Eric, Stephanie, Taylor, which is still intact to this day. The trust made them equal shareholders, owning 25% each of the company. Ridge was then named CEO of Forrester Creations. Despite losing out, big things could be in store for Katie's future. Will she join Bill at Spencer Publications? Most people in Los Angeles believed they understood the Forrester empire, its silk, its scandal, its signature glamour, but very few understood Katie Logan. To many, she was the PR sister, the calm voice in a storm of Logan drama, the one who could spin a crisis into a triumph with nothing more than a pen, a phone call, and a heartbeat of determination. But what no one expected, not even Katie, was the moment the boardroom doors would close behind her and she would realize the seat at the head of the table was hers. Chapter 1. The Appointment. The morning sun reflected off the mirrored walls of the Forrester Creations building, casting streaks of gold across the executive floor. Katie stood outside the boardroom, fingers brushing against the folder she held, talking points for a crisis management plan. She was prepared for that meeting. She was not prepared for what happened instead. "Come in, Katie," Ridge said, his tone warm, a little too warm. Eric stood beside him, his expression kind but unusually serious. Brooke and Donna lingered near the wall, exchanging glances that felt suspiciously like they were keeping a secret. Katie stepped in. "What's going on? Did another fashion influencer decide to sabotage us?" Eric chuckled softly. "No sabotage today. In fact, something far more important." Ridge folded his arms. "We've been thinking a lot about leadership. Stability. Integrity." Katie opened her folder. "I agree. Which is why I think our PR strategy—" "Katie," Ridge interrupted, "you're the new CEO." The room was silent except for Donna's tiny gasp and Brooke's whispered, "Surprise." Katie blinked. I'm sorry, what? Eric stepped closer, laying a hand on her shoulder. You've been the backbone of this company in ways most people never see. When we falter, you steady us. When we fight, you find reason. When we lose direction, you point the way. The folder slipped from her hands. Papers floated across the polished floor like startled white birds. Katie, Brooke added, you deserve this. More than anyone. Katie searched each face, waiting for the punchline. Nothing. Only sincerity. Only expectation. Only belief. She swallowed. PR. Communications. Not couture. Not design. Ridge smirked. And yet every decision you've made has shaped how the world sees Forrester. A CEO doesn't need to sketch gowns, they need to lead. Eric nodded. And you do. For the first time in a long time, Katie Logan had no words. Chapter 2, The First Week. Her official first day as CEO started with 3 phone calls before sunrise, 2 crises before noon, and a confrontation with a journalist who insisted Forrester Creations was gambling on a PR girl. Katie simply smiled for the cameras. A communications expert understands people, she told them. And fashion at its core is communication. Fabric, color, silhouette. What we wear is the story we tell. And I know how to tell a story. That line made headlines. By Wednesday, she had signed off on budgets, diffused a heated argument between Thomas and Steffi over creative direction, and personally convinced an Italian retailer to renew a contract that would have otherwise collapsed. By Friday, her heels hurt, her inbox held 247 unread messages, and she had consumed enough iced tea to rival a small lake. But something else happened too. She felt alive. She felt capable. Chapter 3, The Doubters. Of course, Forrester Creations wasn't short on personalities who believed they should have been CEO. Steffi marched into her office one afternoon, her eyes flashing. Katie, I respect you, but this position traditionally stays within the Forrester family. Katie nodded, calm. I understand your concern. But the board made its decision. And do you think you can handle this? Steffi asked. The pressure, the politics, the empire? Katie leaned back in her chair. I've survived divorce, heart failure, Spencer drama, and more Forrester feuds than I can count. I think I can handle a few runways and stockholders. Steffi's eyes softened, not entirely but enough. Fair point. Thomas, however, was less subtle. You know nothing about design. That's why I'm not the head designer, she replied evenly. I'm here to support the talent, not replace it.